The Chelsea job is one of the biggest jobs in world football, especially for the past 20 years. From all the success we've had, we've literally are the most successful team in the last 20 years, domestically and in Europe. If you see, like, if you see the coaches we've hired over the past 20 years, all big coaches, big names from big clubs, from Jose joined, Jose came to us from Porto after winning a European Cup, a European a Champions League. Um, Scolari, World Cup winner with Brazil. Um, Tuchel, winning winning leagues in France and Germany and getting to the Champions League final before eventually winning it with us. Um, I mean, so many other coaches. Ancelotti. Uh, w- I mean, I mean, winner of numerous Champions Leagues and Serie A's with AC Milan. So we've had a lot of big name coaches for in our history. So today I'm gonna be of course we all know that today, of course, Liam Rosenior got fired, got sacked. So um, I mean, like I said on my earlier video, he deserved to be sacked, but I never thought it would be this early. But I think even though the owners didn't really want to sack him, in my belief, I felt like when they saw the performance yesterday, they had no choice. It was not a pressure for them because, I mean, to lose to like Arsenal 3-0 is one thing, but to lose to Brighton 3-0 and not get a shot on target, and that team just are a ninth, eighth place team, so they had no choice but to let him go. Because, I mean, don't get me wrong, I don't mind. I think he's a nice person. Liam Rosina is a good guy, but he's not ready for a job like that. He was never ready for a job like that. He's like really inexperienced. So from what I'm seeing today, though, there's five candidates. I mean, obviously, always when the manager gets sacked, there's always going to be the odd makers are always going to come up with names who they think is going to be, who are, shortlist for the manager's job. So from what I'm hearing today, there's five people. The first one is Jose. We're going to go one by one, and I'm going to give you what I think about each hiring. I'm going to eventually tell you which one I think is the best. I think the first one is Jose. Of course, Jose. Jose is the biggest and the coach in Chelsea's history. Obviously, he started. He started our dominance for 20 years. Premier Leagues, FA Cups. You know, Champions League semi-finals twice. Unluckily losing both, one on penalties and one by the goal. We all know about that. And then he's always had love from the fans. He always have a special heart. He's always said that Chelsea is his favorite team, and it always have a special heart, a special place in his heart. And the any Chelsea fan you talk to, they say, they tell you Jose is our favorite manager of all time. So even though I don't think Jose is going to happen, because I don't think Jose can deal with the ownership like them, because they're very arrogant. He's very arrogant. I don't think that will mesh together. So even though I don't, it's a last chance that will happen. I will always open the doors for Jose to come to Chelsea, and he always said he always opens the door for return. It doesn't matter. But like I said, that's highly likely that will happen. The other one, which actually is the main one I've been listening about, that his name has been, and I heard that Chelsea already have contacted him, but he can't talk to Chelsea right now because he's still under contract with Bournemouth, is Areola, the Bournemouth manager. See, again, like, he's a good coach, but see, that's why I mentioned in the beginning of the video about the historic coaches Chelsea have had, and where they recruited them from, what clubs they recruited them from, and what these managers, what CV they had before they got to Chelsea. All this winning European Cups, winning all that. Areola is I mean, okay, he's doing well with Bournemouth, but he hasn't really proved anything in world football yet. He hasn't proved it. I mean, there's a difference to go to coach Bournemouth and coach Chelsea. Chelsea has way more expectations than Bournemouth. Bournemouth are not expected to win the Premier League every year. Chelsea, it doesn't matter who you are, you're expected to win the Premier League every year. That's the expectations. So I feel like, again, I feel like he's a good coach. Don't get me wrong. I think he's a good manager. But I just feel like you're going into a Potter thing again. Like when Potter was with Brighton, okay, he did well for a year. He got them into a like mid place, like I think seventh place. They were, but I just feel like those people they're good at certain clubs, small little clubs, but they're not ready to coach the caliber of Chelsea. The next one is Marco Silva. Same thing, the Fulham manager. It's the same as Areola. I'm not gonna repeat the same thing. It's the same concept. Small club. They've always been our small club. Fulham has always been our baby. So basically, we're going to our baby that we dominate every year to go to go pick up their manager to manage us. That again, Fulham, Chelsea. There's a big difference. More pressure. More expectations. It makes a difference. It makes a very big difference. Now the next one is, I think, I mean, it's a good one. Would be Xabi Alonso. Obviously, Xabi Alonso was with Real Madrid. That's one thing. He's won a league title with Bayern Leverkusen. He brought them the first league title in league history, being Bayern Munich, which is, I mean, to beat Bayern Munich in the league is something tough. The only teams that have done it recently is Borussia Dortmund. But also because he's gone to Real Madrid, even though it didn't work out for him at Real Madrid, he's coached and experienced that kind of pressure, because Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world. I mean, there's no more bigger pressure than that. So for him to come in at Chelsea, he already understands the pressure of being of coaching and managing a big club and big egos, and the expectations of coaching a big club. And Real Madrid are miles bigger than Chelsea. So for him to come to Chelsea, it's not going to be that much big pressure. It is as managing Real Madrid, and he's young, and because they like all these young people, the ownership like a lot of this young style of coaching. And the fifth and final one is Cesc, of course, a Chelsea legend, won Premier Leagues with us. Even though he's coaching Monaco's not a big club, but he is coaching in the Champions League. He coached in the Champions League this year. He played against big teams. He's won games against big teams, so he knows how to play against big teams. And he's played the game at the highest level. He's won at the highest level. So I mean, that wouldn't be a bad hire for me, because he's been to the Champions League. He's managed in the highest level, which is the Champions League. These other coaches like Silva and Areola and have not. Okay, they've been successful with their teams. They basically manage them to better expectations than they thought they could. But they haven't coached in the big levels. They have had the experience of coaching the Champions League, which is where we need to be as a club, because we have European history. We're two-time Premier League champion, two-time Champions League winners, multiple semi-finals. So if I had to pick one of them right now, these are the candidates. There could be more coming out. I don't know, but right now those are the candidates I'm hearing about. I would go with Xabi Alonso because of his experience already coaching a team like Real Madrid. Real Madrid is the biggest club in the world, and I understand it didn't work out for him. But I mean, Real Madrid weren't that great this year anyway. You can see this year they did. I mean, they might not even win the La Liga, and they might not even, and they're already out of the Champions League, so they haven't really been a good team this year anyway. After he left. So yeah, if I had one of these coaches, one of these managers, if I had the choice, I would pick Xabi Alonso. But again, I'm going to go back to what I said before. Any of these managers, especially those ones who have been on the highest level, like Cesc, especially Xabi Alonso and Jose, why would they want to come and coach and deal with ignorant owners like we have? What's gonna make, especially if Chelsea don't get European football this year, the Champions League is out of the Champions League. They have no chance. The only way they get to the Champions League If I heard, I think if they win the FA Cup, and I think Aston Villa has to win the Europa League, something like that, and then so the coefficient of their league goes up, so they can get a sixth team in. It's like a it's very complicated, and it's like a very small percentage that will happen. So Champions League is already out. They have no chance of winning of getting there. Europa League is still there, especially if they win the FA Cup. They get a spot in the Europa League. So I mean, what coach would not want to? If let's say they don't get Europa League, what coach is going to want to coach a team? People, I mean, the caliber of like Xabi Alonso has been Real Madrid, and Sesco's been in the Champions League this year. Would want to come and coach a team that's not even in Europe, and they have no money to spend because we first of all we have lost we lost like $680 million this year, and over that, we have of course, the fair play rule in which we have to sell players to buy players, and we need to. And so, some of if they want to buy players, a lot of these big players have to leave because they're in such big contracts. So it's going to be tough, man. I'm telling you, they've put themselves in such a bad predicament that I mean, it's just going to be a very, 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 very interesting summer, and I don't know what they're going to do. Like I said, they were never supposed to even hire uh, Liam Rosenior, and now they have to pay him again 25 million. Like I said before, I mean, you're paying this guy. So this guy basically just got just just became a millionaire from you guys and got set for life for coaching a team for 2 months. You know, so let's see. It's going to be a very, very interesting summer, and let's see what they come up with. And especially it's all gonna, at the end, it's all gonna what's going to matter is what happens to us in the end of the year. Are we going to win the FA Cup? Are we going to go trophyless? What number we're going to finish in the league? That's going to be very important to see who's going to be the next manager. So let's see, fingers crossed, and let's see if they're really, really serious about it this time, about getting a coach, a manager with a European pedigree. All right, guys, thank you. And again, please, if I really appreciate it, guys, if you really, 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 really subscribe to my channel and like my videos. I really appreciate it. I'd love to guys to join my community and help me grow my my YouTube channel. I really, really appreciate it. Thank you, guys. I'll see you tomorrow for the post game of the game 3 of the Cavs and the Raptors. See you guys later.